10 days after a deadly bus crash involving the Iowa Lakes Community College baseball team, we've learned more about the 33 people that were aboard that bus.
That's right. The college actually shared an update on their conditions just this afternoon. That crash killed 19-year-old Carter Johnson of Rapid City, South Dakota, and sent several other people to area hospitals. Now tonight, the college says just one player, as well as the bus driver, remain in the hospital. Other team members are now in the recovery process. The college adding in its statement saying, quote, "Our commitment to each student and family affected remains unwavering. Faculty, staff, coaches, and support teams continue to walk alongside them, providing care, flexibility, and resources in the days ahead."